Hey guys, it's Brittany. So, today's going to be a movie review, and today I'll be reviewing Talk to Me. So, for those who may not have seen it but would like to, here's the description of the plot. When the group of friends discover how to conjure spirits with an embalmed hand, they become hooked on the new thrill uh, and high stakes party game until one of them goes too far and unleashes terrifying supernatural forces. So this was because I've heard things about it. I've heard things about Talk to Me before I even saw it, and I just kept wondering, like, okay, what is it about? Because, I mean, I didn't hear anything like spoilers, but I just heard like those who liked it and say that it's good. And I think for those who probably didn't like it, and that maybe just didn't do anything for them. Um, but it is a Australian supernatural horror film directed by Danny and Michael Filippo, um, based on says here based on concept by Daley Pearson. Did not know that. Okay, starring Sophie Wilde, Alexandra Jensen, Joe Bird, Otis Donnie or Dunny. I think that's how you say it. Because, or that's how it's spelled, but pronounced differently. Miranda Otto. So yeah, we get this good cast. And let's see, it says here, it doesn't say worldwide, when it was released, but it says here, so there's, it just shows here that was released in Australia, July 27th, last year. So that's what it shows. So yeah, I've heard it's quite interesting, but yes, I have seen it, and yeah, from what I can see, it's just yeah, it was good. So it says here, on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 95% of 293 critics' reviews are positive, with an average of 7.7 out of 10. So yeah, it has gotten positive reviews, although I gotta say, because yeah, what happens is that at this party, a group of friends use this embalmed hand to conjure spirits. So the way I see it is that when they were doing this, it just seems like almost like they were using it, and since they were getting a high off of it, like a drug. Now, saying that, because at first, even before I watched it, when it says that they're using this embalmed hand to conjure spirits, I was picturing it differently in my mind, but how I was seeing it in the movie, I don't know, to me it just seemed concerning, and it just seemed like, oh, that's not good. Like, I don't like how they were conjuring spirits in a way of how it showed in the movie, because in the movie it shows where Sophie, cause yeah, at first I think she saw something like I think she was seeing like videos of it. I think on what was it? I think either Snapchat or TikTok, and at first when she saw it, she didn't like that, and she thought, oh no, like something's going on here. But then when she went to a party, then she decided to try it for herself, but then she became hooked on it, and so she was getting, yeah, a high off of it. um like I said, it was like a drug, and but in a different way, because like I said, when it said that they were using this embalmed hand to conjure spirits, I was picturing it very differently. And but the way I saw it in the movie, I know I did not like with what I was seeing and how they were conjuring spirits, because what they did was that when they would use this involved hand, so you would see it like this, and they would put their hand in the involved hand, and I think they would have to say something. They would say, talk to me, and they would say, I let you in. Now with that, I was like, what? And so yeah, I think they said, I let you in. I think that's what they say. And then the spirit that they conjured by touching the involved hand and telling the spirit, talk to me, and I let you in. And then therefore the spirit goes inside them. So it's like for a moment, their soul is probably not there, or maybe it is, but it's just maybe their soul's just like how do I say it? How do I put into words that maybe that they're not conscious, or that you know what I mean? It's almost like they had just went to sleep, because now the spirit is possessing them of their body. And then the way how they have a certain reaction to it, like when it seems like their eyes get bigger and they get really black, and yeah, it just looks like how the spirit is just possessing them. And so yeah, seeing that, I don't like seeing things like that of whether if it's like demon possession. I mean, I know this one wasn't exactly that, but it was just like a spirit going into like someone who had passed away, like a human spirit, going inside of that person and taking over their body. But of course, it doesn't last long, because I think it would only last for so long, and then they get out and the person comes back. So I think they probably remember with what happened, you know. But yeah, I that's not how I pictured it when I saw this movie. I thought that this is how I pictured it, that once they touched the involved hand to conjure spirits, that I didn't picture anything like that. I just pictured where that they see the spirit in front of them, and that somehow that they think it might be the person that they're talking to, when really it's not that person, but it's like a demon that takes form of that person. But like it's tricking them, making them believe that it's talking to someone who has passed away, even though it's not, because it's a demon in the form of the person that they knew. And then things start to go wrong, kind of like a Ouija board. So I pictured it more like that, like a Ouija board type of movie, except it's not a Ouija board, but it's involved hand. So that's how I pictured it to be. But when it was showed of this, I did not like that. I didn't like seeing where, I mean, I think the conjuring part of conjuring spirits with involved hand, but when it said talk to me, I just thought maybe it was going to be only a conversation between the person and the spirit, and that no one else knows what the conversation is about because only the person and the spirit on the other side, that only they know what the conversation is. You know what I mean? So I even thought that too, but seeing how the spirit goes inside the person and possesses them for some amount of time, but it doesn't last long. So yeah, I don't know. That was really freaky. It was scary to see that, and yeah, it just made me feel very uneasy because to see whether if it's a spirit going inside of a living person to possess their body, or especially when it comes to demon possession movies, that freaks me out. That terrifies me more. Like, ugh, no. See, I seen that. It was almost like that, even though it was different, you know. But still, I just didn't like that. But I will say that, even though the concept of it is very different from how I imagined it to be, but I will say this. I will say that, it is a good story, and there's a good cast, and their performances, and everyone did a good job, and the directors did a good job as well. And so, but yes, everyone did a good job. And yeah, I will say this. So I don't know if this is me, just me, or if anyone else feels this way, but I feel like there are some scary moments within the movie, but I feel like it wasn't as I feel like it wasn't as scary. Like I felt like that it should have been, and it wasn't as intense. Um, with that, I think it should have been a little bit more terrifying. So I don't know if it's just me that feels that way or if anyone else does, but yeah. And the thing is, even as I was watching throughout the movie, there was just some things I did not quite expect to happen because I thought maybe this is what's gonna happen or this, but then something else different happens. I'm like, okay, I did not imagine that. That never crossed my mind that this was gonna happen or that was gonna happen. So, and I think we all do that. We all get that where we're watching a movie and somehow we think that, oh, maybe this is going to happen or this, but then something different happens, and it's one of those things that either a good thing or a bad thing. Whether, okay, like, let's say if something happens in a way where you didn't expect, and you're like, really, that's what happens. I thought it was gonna be more. I thought it was gonna be more intense, more terrifying, but it led to this. Like, what? So either it could be something that maybe we thought it was gonna lead up to something like that, but then it doesn't, and then it's like, what? So, you know, yeah, that's understandable, but, I think if something happens unexpected in a way where even if we didn't thought of it, but then somehow maybe it turned out better than we thought, and then we're just caught by surprise, and we're just like, oh my gosh, like, that was so intense, or that was so scary, but that was great, and then, yeah, so I think sometimes those unexpected things that can happen where like I said, it's either a good thing or a bad thing. It could be one of those things where it might leave us feeling a bit disappointed because we thought it was going to be more of this or of that because of the situation or because to what's going on. But then something can happen where, or something else can happen where it's unexpected, but it turned out better than we thought. So sometimes that happens, and sometimes you don't know when those things will happen, but when it does, like I said, either it turned out better than we thought, or it turned out not the way that we thought it would, because it turned out maybe not that way, you know what I mean? So yeah. So I kind of felt that too with this movie, is that there are certain things that happened that I did not expect to go this way or that way, and I'm like, oh, okay, wait, what? Like, okay, I was not expecting it to go this way or that way. But like I said, again, other than that, even though there are some things I thought could have been differently, and think that could have been a little bit more intense and more terrifying, then yeah, even though that's the one thing that I have an issue with it, but at the same time, it's still a good movie, and the directors did a good job, and the cast did great, and yeah, there were some terrifying parts, but I think there could have been a little bit more terrifying, but that's just what I think. But yeah, even how it ended, I was not expecting it for it to end the way it did, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, wait, how? And did it had to live up to that, or should something else should have happened? So it's just one of those things. But yeah, this is my review of Talk to Me. And so I would say my rating, my throat is a little dry. Yeah, I don't know why. Um, let's see, my rating of it, I would say would be, I would say a C. Also, I would say, okay, yeah, 7.6 out of 10, and 65%, and I would say 3 stars. So yes, that is my review and rating on Talk to Me. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and comment down below if you have seen it, and if you have, what did you thought of it? Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know. So for more movie content, reactions, dreams, and the paranormal, subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.